You can't reset your life if you've never released what's been holding you hostage. Hey, y'all, welcome to MINDSHiFT Monday, the place where mental clarity meets personal growth. I'm Robert Kennedy III, RK3. That's me. And today we're talking about something that most of us skip right over. Here's the deal. You can't access gratitude until you've released what's draining your spirit. Oh yeah, it is time for the MINDSHiFT Monday. If you want to know when we're going live, text live to 240-557-8679. If you want to join us for the after show, then head on over to mindshiftmonday.com/Zoom. We'll jump in right at the conclusion of this live episode. What's going on, y'all? So glad you're here. Seek Life to Live on Instagram. So glad you're here. SAJ Jewelry 916. So glad that you are here. C. Marie, great morning to you. So glad that you are here. Oh yeah, Christy, so glad you're here. Kelly, so glad that you are here. Jackie and Sean, Angela, so glad that you're here. My people on YouTube, glad that you're here. Lacey, glad that you're here. Oh yeah, I'm so glad that y'all are here. It's gonna be a good show. It's gonna be a good show, y'all. I'm ready. Are you ready? TL Speaks, so glad that you're here. Oh yeah. Release isn't giving up. It is making room for the blessing. Let's go. Let's do this thing. Hey y'all, happy Monday. Happy Monday. If you're in the United States, it is officially Thanksgiving week. My goodness. We are walking into Thanksgiving. Twyla Grigsby, hope to see you on the after show. Good to see you this morning. Oh yeah. All right. So we are talking about giving thanks. We're talking about moving forward. And as we said, gratitude is the floor upon which happiness is built. That's what we said last week. But here's the other thing that I want to share with you this morning. Gratitude cannot grow in a heart that is overcrowded, right? And so before we talk about being thankful, we've got to talk about making space, right? We got to talk about making space. And so many of us are overcrowded. We're filled. We're jamming stuff in and we don't have space. We don't have mental space. We don't have emotional space. My wife and I are in this project right now. Yeah, we're in the basement. We're in the storage area of the basement and we are clearing out some stuff. Right? I said, "Hey, it's time. We need to get a dumpster. We need to get something to clear out." Because here's the deal. There's stuff down there that we haven't used in years, but it's still taking up space. And guess what it's doing? When something is taking up space and you're not using it, it's keeping something else from coming in. Right? If there's something that is missing in your life, if there's something that you desire in your life, and you're wondering why this thing isn't coming into your space, maybe there's not space for that thing to come in. We got to learn a little bit more about releasing. Hey, Dr. Lorenda, so glad that you're here. Misty Campbell, so glad that you're here. Yeah, so let's jump on in this morning. In 2021, at the Tokyo Olympics, the world expected Simone Biles to be unstoppable. The GOAT. Guaranteed gold, the one who never cracks, the one who's got it all together. But behind the smiles And the spotlight, she was battling a case of what Olympians or gymnasts know as the twisties. Yeah, it's a very technical term. She was battling the twisties. And this is what they know as a loss of spatial awareness, not knowing where you are. So, and that's important for a gymnast because they're flying through the air all the time and they've got to land. As a matter of fact, a couple of times during that Olympics, she was doing landings and she fell off the balance beam. She fell. And so it can come on at any time. It's just, I don't know what it is. They're not sure what the brain term for it is or what causes it, but there is a loss of spatial awareness. And listen, if you are flipping on a balance beam or somewhere else and you have one wrong or bad landing, it can end your career. So she was experiencing this, but here's what happens when you are a celebrity or when you are out in front of everybody and people have expectations of you. There's pressure. There's pressure. Yeah, we need you. The team needs you. You can't pull out. You always deliver. You always come through. You just got to close your eyes and grit your teeth and bear it and push through. But here's what Simone Biles did. She didn't push through the pressure. She released the expectation. During the team finals, she stepped back and she said no to the weight of the world. Ooh. Everybody, the coach, the people on TV, the entire country of the United States, they had these expectations of Simone, but she was in a space where she recognized danger. And instead of saying yes to the weight of the world, she decided that she was going to protect her mind and her body. And instead of performing for applause, she was going to protect herself. Guess what happened? The critics talked. The commentators started doubting. The people started to say what they were saying, oh, this generation, they just don't know how to push through. They don't know how to do this, mental health. But she decided that she was going to stand firm because releasing expectations isn't quitting. It's choosing yourself over the expectations that could destroy you. She still returned later on and she ended up winning a bronze medal. But her greatest victory wasn't the medal, it was the message. And here's the message. You don't have to carry expectations that cost you your peace. That is the power of releasing, right? Releasing doesn't weaken you. It frees you to rebuild stronger. Someone at my church had done something to hurt me. And I don't know if you've ever experienced hurt in a way that you don't really recognize that you're hurt at first. Somebody did something and you're kind of like, oh, it's whatever. It bothered you, it annoyed you, but you didn't really recognize how hurt you were. And so you tried to move forward. Right? I was hurt by this person and I was really bothered by it, but I didn't let them know about it. And here's part of why I didn't let them know. That they weren't in a place to receive the information. They were going through their own thing. And in previous experiences, when I'd been around where they had been approached about something, they hadn't acknowledged how they had hurt others. They looked like they were listening, but they didn't really acknowledge the gravity of the hurt. And so here I was. I decided that, okay, not gonna make a big deal out of it. It's whatever. I'll get over it. I can control me. I'll get over it. I will get over it. And so I was doing this thing where I would check in on this person because they were going through their own thing. And I would let them know that I was praying for them and all of that. But behind all of it, I was still annoyed. I was still annoyed that here I was being nice to this person. Here I was being a Christian. Here I was being considerate of this person, and yet this person wasn't considerate of me. And here's what was happening. Every time I reached out to this person, every time I texted this person, every time I made the attempt to connect with this person, I was bringing up that hurt again. And so one day I reached the place where I had to release this person. I stopped texting them. I stopped contacting them because I recognized that every time I reached out, and the thing is, sometimes I would reach out and they wouldn't even respond. But I recognized that every time I reached out, I was reliving the hurt. And somewhere in my brain, I was being heroic by reaching out. But the truth is, inside, I was reliving the hurt every time under the delusion that one day they would recognize that I had been nothing but nice and apologize. And at that moment, I realized that the problem was no longer the person. The problem was that I had become chained to the fantasy. And the only way for me to be healthy was to release it. I don't know if you're tracking with me or you're resonating with me this morning. If you are, just go ahead and type me in the chat. If you've ever walked through something like that, right? The only way for me to be healthy was to release it. And so I stopped contacting the person. I mean, when I see them, we can talk, but ultimately I had to release in order to reset. And I had to recognize that the issue was mine to make the choice about. Right? It was mine. Sometimes you go through stuff with people and you're mad at them and you're holding on to stuff and you got it in your mind and you got it in your brain and you're like, I'm going to do this and I'm going to act this way. And ultimately it becomes your issue. Some of us even become addicted to the hurt and addicted to reliving the hurt. You got to be able to release that. You can't feel grateful if you're still holding what hurt you. Hey, it's hard to feel grateful. It's hard to embrace gratitude if you're trying to put it on top of the muck that you still are holding on to. Release clears out the emotional static so that the gratitude can come through. Why is release so hard? Why do we normalize carrying too much? We treat emotional weight like responsibility, and we confuse releasing with forgetting, forgiving, or excusing. Right, I can't forget it, so I got to hold on to it and relitigate it and relive it and wait until they acknowledge. No. Release it. We try to add gratitude on top of unresolved pressure, and it doesn't stick. Kobe Bryant, in talking about his success, he said that everything is a lesson. You choose what to learn, and then you move on. If he missed a game-winning shot, he said he had to learn that instead of leaning into the weight of the fact that he missed the shot, He had to release it. He had to look at it and say, yep, I missed it. Can't change that. It's history. And then look quickly at what he did wrong. Okay, maybe I was in the wrong position. Okay, I didn't dribble long enough. I didn't do a pump fake. Okay, got it. Lesson. Boom. And then he added that to his practice for the next time. But he had to release the mistake. Gratitude is how we rebuild, but release is that reset. Right? You got to let it go or it's going to limit your growth. So, you know how we talk about the 3 actions of transformation. Oh, let me pause it because there's some good stuff happening in the chat here. Burmy Chappie is saying release is not spiritually taught. Oh, my goodness. Forgiveness is any released at least the way that we traditionally teach it. Yeah. We gotta do that. Okay. Sylvia Ramirez says, I can resonate. At some point, we have to release the expectation of thinking others are like us. Oh, my Lord. Yeah. Yeah. Yes. This is something that we've got to lock in and walk through. Yeah. We don't teach this. We don't teach this. All right. So let's walk through 3 actions of transformation this morning. Number 1 is I want you to recognize the drain. Recognize the drain. They say the first step to healing is awareness, right? Recognize the drain. We got this holiday coming up and we're walking in and we got family coming and we got all sorts of stuff happening. But we're walking in, a lot of us, with the same stuff that has been draining us. I want you to identify one emotional weight that you've been carrying up until today, right? A frustration, a fear, a comparison, a resentment, a disappointment. I want you to identify it. I want you to write it down. Write it down. Get a piece of paper and identify one emotional weight that I've been frustrated with how I've been treated at my job. I've been resentful for how a spouse or a brother, a sibling, a family member treated me in this particular circumstance. I have been annoyed at how a church brother, sister, member has treated me. And listen, bringing this up right now is not about being annoyed at it or it's identifying it, because we have not yet released it. Have you ever been in a space where you got a massage and you just realized how much tension you were carrying? I'm lying in my bed the other day and I'm doing devotion and I'm reading and I'm lying down on my pillow and I realized that I was not even releasing the weight of my body down into my bed. I was just tense, holding myself up. And I recognized I could feel tension, right? And our bodies tell, right? Our bodies keep score. It's a great book. Our bodies keep score. What is the emotional weight that you've been carrying? I want you to write that down. I want you to write it down. All right. Then number two, release the grip. Once you've identified it, once you've written it down, I want you to release it by saying it out loud. I release this thing. I release this hurt that this person has placed on me. I no longer will allow it to have control over me. Say it out loud. I will no longer allow it to control me emotionally. I will no longer allow it to take emotional space. You want to get further? If you wrote that thing down, listen, physically tear up that paper, crumple it up. Let your nervous system know that you're releasing. Go through the activity, go through the action, make it symbolic, make it physical, make it tangible. The truth is, when we want to complain about stuff, we make it physical, we make it tangible. We say it out loud. I don't like this. Oh, I hate this. Oh, why is this? Why did they? And we say it and reinforce it and repeat it. So why not do the opposite when you're releasing? If you're releasing, say it out loud and get rid of it. Get rid of it. Tell your body, tell your nervous system that you're releasing. Release it. Recognize the drain, then release the grip. And then number 3, here's the third one, and this is the important one as well. Rebuild with gratitude. So here's the thing. Everything in life happens, and I'm not going to even say it happens for a reason. Everything in life happens. It happens. And when things happen, you wish you could change it. You wish you could adjust it, but quite often you cannot. I shouldn't say quite often. Always, you cannot. It happened. You can do things in the future, but you cannot change what happened in the past. Right? So when you identify the weight, when you release it, third thing I want you to do is name one thing that the weight has taught you. Name one thing that the weight has taught you. Okay, what did this experience grow in me? What did I learn as a result of this? How am I better because of this? What strength did this reveal in me? What perspective did this shift? Too often, stuff happens to us, we complain about it, and then we move on from it, but we don't recognize how we could grow from it. That growth happens because you identify the challenge. You identify how you navigated it. You identify how you became better as a result of it. I'm pausing for just a moment because I want you to think about it. All right? Rebuild with gratitude. Oh my goodness, what perspective? What did this reveal? I'm grateful for the strength that I have as a result of. I'm grateful for the growth as a result of. I'm grateful for the new perspective because of. Life happens and you get to grow because of life. But you got to choose the growth. You got to choose the growth. You choose the growth and you choose the gratitude. Oh my goodness, this is good. We're teaching this morning, right? Turn your day from reaction into creation. When stuff happens, how do you create a new future? How do you create your next steps? We're gonna go through what I call a brief release ritual in the after show. Here's the deal. Sometimes the strength isn't in holding on. It's in letting go. Make sure that you join me for the after show in about 4 or 5 minutes, 4 minutes plus on MINDSHiFTMonday.com/Zoom. Just come on in. We'll be there for about 30 minutes, just unpacking the show this morning and walking through what some of your next steps are with our community as we do that. All right. So here we go. We are landing the plane, y'all. Release is the bridge between who you are and who you are becoming. Yeah. Gratitude rebuilds what release makes room for. Reflect, release, rebuild, and then keep on shifting your mindset so that you can shift your life. Actress Goldie Hawn said, if we can just let go and trust that things will work out the way that they're supposed to without trying to control the outcome, then we can begin to enjoy the moment more fully. The joy of freedom becomes more pleasurable than the experience itself. Last week, we said that gratitude is the floor upon which happiness is built. Well, release is the foundation that supports the floor. It's time to build, my friend. Hey, listen, if you love the messages that we share each week and want a reminder about when we're live, text live to 240-557-8679. That's live to 240-557-8679. Lastly, don't forget to join the after show. Join me in the after show. Head on over to MINDSHiFTMonday.com/Zoom. Until next time, lead with gratitude, grow with purpose, and keep on shifting your mindset so that you can shift your life. Ooh, oh yeah. Okay, let me get this question really quickly. How do you release an organization who you are still intimately involved with professionally without becoming passive aggressive? Oh my Lord, that's good. Let's go through that on the show, the after show. Come on to MINDSHiFTMonday.com/Zoom and let's unpack that. Let's talk through that. I love that. I love that. I love that. Oh yeah. Hey y'all, we're about to jump. Change your thoughts, change your world, change your story. Peace. See you on the after show in 2 minutes.